What is swimming? Swimming in recreational and sports, the propulsion of the body through water by combined arm and leg motions and the natural flotation of the body. Swimming as an exercise is popular as an all-around body developer and is particularly useful in therapy and as exercise for physically handicapped persons. It is also taught by life-saving purposes. So history. Archaeological and other evidence show swimming to have been practiced as early as 2500 BCE in Egypt, and thereafter is Assyrian, Greek, and Roman civilizations. In Greece and Rome, swimming was a part of martial training and was, with the alphabet, also part of elementary education for males. In the Orient, swimming dates back at least to the 1st century BCE, there being some evidence of swimming races then in Japan. By the 17th century, as an imperial edict had made the teaching of swimming compulsory in the schools. Organized swimming events were held in the 19th century before Japan was opened to the Western world. Among the preliterate maritime people of the Pacific, swimming was evidently learned by children about the time they walked or even before. Among the ancient Greeks, there is not of occasional races, and a famous boxer swam as part of his training. The Romans built swimming pools distinct from their baths. In the 1st century BCE, the Romans, Gaius Maecenas, I'm sorry if I pronounced it wrong, is said to have built the first heated swimming pool. So competitive swimming. Internationally, competitive swimming came into prominence with its inclusion in the modern Olympic Games from their inceptions in 1896. Olympic events were originally only for men, but women's events were added in 1912. Before the formation of FINA or FINA, the games included some unusual events. In the 1900s, for instance, when the game swimming events were held on the Seine River in France, a 200-meter obstacle race involved climbing over a pole and a line of boats and swimming under them. Such oddities disappeared from FINA to charged. Under FINA regulations, for both Olympic and other world competitions, race length came increasingly to be measured in meters. And in 1969, world records for yard measured race were abolished. The kinds of stroke allowed were reduced to freestyle, crawl, backstroke, breaststroke, and butterfly. All 4 strokes were used in individual medley races. Many nations have at one time or another dominated Olympic and world competition, including Hungary, Denmark, Australia, Germany, France, Great Britain, Canada, Japan, and the United States. So, instruction and training. The earliest instruction programs were in the Great Britain in the 19th century, both for sport and for life-saving. Those programs were copied in the rest of Europe. In the United States, or US, swimming instruction for life-saving purposes began under the auspices of the American Red Cross in 1916. Instructional work done by the various branches of the armed forces during both World War I and II was very effective in promoting swimming. Courses taught by community organizations and schools, extending ultimately to very young infants, became common. The early practice of simply swimming as much as possible at every workout was replaced by interval training and repeat training by the late 1950s. Interval training consists of a series of swims of the same distance with controlled rest periods. In slow interval training, used primarily to develop endurance, the rest period is always shorter than the time taken to swim the prescribed distance. Fast interval training, used primarily to develop speed, permits rest periods long enough to allow almost complete recovery of the heart and breathing rate. Swimming is a fun way to spend a summer afternoon while encouraging various health benefits, like improving your mood or decreasing the risk of certain health conditions. Basic skills in swimming. Number 1, getting in and out of the water safely. Number 2, proper breathing. Number 3, floating. Number 4, coordinating limbs. 5, kicking. 6, basic swimming strokes. Safety rules in recreational swimming. Swimming injuries, drownings, and deaths are preventable by following simple safety rules. Number 1, look for and read the signs. Number 2, walk, do not run. 3, be careful in getting in and out of the pool. Number 4, look before you leap or dive in. Number 5, stay within your abilities. Number 6, never swim alone. Number 7, play carefully. 8, do not drink alcohol. Number 9, be aware of suction hazard. Number 10, watch for underwater traps. 11, be aware of natural hazards. Number 12, take a first aid course. Number 13, wear life jackets or personal flotation devices or PFDS.
And here are the quick rules for competitive swimming. To start, for freestyle, backstroke, butterfly, and medley, it must start with a dive. First, whistle, or step onto the starting block or side of the pool. Next, take your marks, or get into starting position with at least 1 foot at the front of the blocks or pool. For backstroke and medley relay, first, whistle, or get into the water and return to the wall. Take your marks, get into starting position. When all swimmers are stationary, the starter will give the go signal. The one start rule means if you go before the start signal, you might be disqualified. Over the top starts, after your time has been taken by the recorder, move out to the T on the bottom of the pool or the second white lane row marker. The next group of swimmers will dive into the water while you are still in the lane. Please keep as close to the lane ropes as possible and keep as still as possible so you don't put the next swimmer off. Quick rules for all strokes. Number 1. Some part of the swimmer must touch the wall upon completion of each length and at the end, at the finish. Number 2, after the dive or start and at the turn, your head must surface before the 15-meter mark. Number 3, freestyle is the only stroke you are allowed to stand up in, but you may not walk or take a step. Number 4, try not to stand up when turning, but certainly do not take a step or push off from the bottom of the pool. Quick rules for backstroke. Unless you are doing a tumble run, you must be on your back when you touch and leave the wall. For breaststroke, number 1, the stroke cycle must be 1 arm stroke and 1 leg kick. Number 2, during the stroke cycle, some part of the head must break the surface of the water. Number 3, the arms must move simultaneously. Number 4, the hands shall not be brought back beyond the hip line except during the pull-out. Number 5, the feet must be turned outwards during the propulsive part of the kick. Number 6, all leg movements must be simultaneous and without alternating movement. Number 7, a scissor, flutter, or downward dolphin kick is not allowed. Number 8, at the turn and finish, both hands must touch simultaneously. For the butterfly stroke, both arms must move simultaneously and be brought forward over the water. Number 2, all up and down movement of the legs must be simultaneous. Number 3, at the turn and finish, both hands must touch simultaneously. For medley, each stroke must be finished as if it were the finish of the race. Backstroke must be finished on the back. For the relays, you must not leave the starting blocks till the previous swimmer has touched. Number 2, you must leave the water before the next swimmer finishes their leg on the race. Number 3, you may not get back into the water after your portion of the race has finished. The swimming tools and equipments. When you start swimming, the question of what swimming equipment you need also usually arises. Therefore, here are the essential gear you need for a successful start. Number 1, swimwear. To get started, you will obviously need a good swimsuit. For men, these are usually swim briefs, swim trunks, or jumpers. Board shorts aren't recommended for swimming as they create too much drag. Furthermore, they are forbidden in certain pools for sanitary reasons. For women, the best choice for swimming is the one-piece swimsuit. Number 2, swim cap. A swim cap is often mandatory when swimming in a public pool unless you are bald. A swim cap also comes in handy if you have long hair and want to avoid it getting into your face while swimming. Number 3, swimming goggles. A good pair of swimming goggles is also must if you are serious about learning to swim. Swimming goggles allow you to submerge your head without having to fear getting water into your eyes. You will be more relaxed and able to streamline your body better. Number 4, nose clip. A nose clip is nice to have as it keeps water out of your nose. So, it's one thing less to worry about during the initial learning phase. A nose clip helps especially when learning front crawl as it takes quite a bit of technique and coordination to be able to breathe on the side and keep your arms and legs moving. Number 5, swim fins. Swim fins dramatically improve the efficiency of your flutter kick in front crawl and backstroke and the efficiency of your dolphin kick in the butterfly stroke. The legs are much better supported in the water and hence you can focus on learning the arm stroke movements. It's better to use shorter types of swim fins like zoomers or the Speedo Viofuse as they put less strain on the Achilles tendon. Number 6, the pool buoys. It is a figure 8-shaped flotation device made of solid foam and which you squeeze between your thighs. A pool buoy also supports your legs so you can focus on the arm stroke movements. It makes the most sense to use them when swimming front crawl. However, you should take care not to become dependent on them as they can mask balance problems. Number 7, swimming noodle. Swimming noodles, also called water noodles, are those long-colored flexible cylinders made of solid foam. Children like them a lot as they great pool toys. But they can also be used as flotation devices to support the upper body while learning the leg movements of the different swimming strokes. Number 8, kickboard. A kickboard can be used to isolate and learn the leg movements, especially the flutter kick and the breaststroke kick. A kickboard makes less sense to learn the dolphin kick used in butterfly, as the kickboard limits the body undulation that is essential in that stroke. Please note that holding the kickboard in front of your arm's length while flutter kicking can put some strain on your shoulder. Using a swimming noodle across your chest can be a valid alternative for those kinds of exercises. Terminologies in swimming. An easy way to start learning a new sport is to familiarize yourself with the lingo. Before your child even jumps in the pool, they can start to understand the swimming terms they'll need to succeed. Number 1. Alternate. Once the finalists are decided in a preliminary or finals meet, the swimmers with the next 2 fastest times are considered alternates. If a finalist can't participate, the alternates are called to take their place. Number 2. Anchor. The final swimmer in a relay. 3. Blocks. The starting platforms that are located behind each lane. The minimum water depth for the use of starting blocks is 4 feet and can be either permanent or removable. Next is course, or the distance for a swimming competition which ties into the length of the pool. A long course is 50 meters and a short course is 25 meters. Next, deck. The area around the swimming pool is reserved for swimmers, officials, and coaches. Deck seating, or the heat and lane assignments posted after swimmers have checked in. Next is the distance, or how far swimmers swim, often determined by length, meters, or yards. Disqualified. A swimmer's performance is not counted because of a rule infraction. Disqualifications are shown by an official raising their arm above their head with an open hand. Diving well. A separate pool or a pool set off to the side of the competition pool. These have deeper water and diving board or platforms. False start. When a swimmer leaves the starting block before the horn or gun sounds. While one false start will disqualify a swimmer or relay team, an official may disallow it due to unusual circumstances. False start rope. A recall rope across the width of the racing pool for the purpose of stopping swimmers who were not aware of the false start. Fins. Large rubber flipper-type devices that fit the swimmer's feet. They are used in swim practice but not allowed in the competition. Flags. Pennants that are suspended across the width of the pool, approximately 15 feet from both ends, indicating the swimmers they are approaching the wall. Goggles. Glasses-type devices worn by swimmers to help them see underwater and protect their eyes. Heats. These are groups of swimmers that compete against one another. The results are compiled by Team Swam once all heats are completed. Jump. Done in a relay when the swimmer on the block jumps into the water before the team member in the pool touches the wall. Kickboard. A flotation device used by swimmers during practice but can't be used during competitions. Lane. An area or the length of the pool that the swimmer must stay in during the race. Each swimmer is assigned a different lane. For example, lane 1, lane 2, lane 3, and etc. Leg. The part of a relay event swum by a single member of the team. Pace clocks. The electric clocks, or large clocks with highly visible numbers, are located at the ends or sides of the pool so swimmers can read their times. Relay. A swimming event in which 4 swimmers participate as a team. Each swimmer completes an equal distance of the race. There are 2 types of relays. One is the medley relay, or one swimmer swims backstroke, one swimmer swims breaststroke, one swimmer swims butterfly, one swimmer swims freestyle, in that order. Number 2 is the freestyle relay, or each swimmer swims freestyle. Next word, stroke. The style in which a competitor swims. There are 4 types of strokes: the backstrokes, breaststroke, butterfly, and freestyle. Then, the timer. These volunteers sit behind the starting blocks at the end of the pool and are responsible for getting watch times on events and activating the backup buttons for the timing system. Next, warm-up. The session swimmer used to loosen up prior to their event. And the last word is warm down. or the recovery swimming a swimmer does after a race when pool space is available.